In the idyllic enclave of Willow Grove Estates, weekends painted a charming picture. Children pedaled bikes along spotless sidewalks, and neighbors exchanged pleasantries about lawn upkeep. Uniformed streetlights cast a warm glow over manicured flower beds lining each driveway, while towering maple trees, planted years ago, offered patches of shade in front yards. To outsiders, Willow Grove seemed a haven of tranquility until they encountered the iron grip of the Homeowners Association HOA. At the heart of this HOA reigned Evelyn Harper, though the neighborhood whispered her nickname, Carol, with a mix of dread and disdain. Perhaps it was her flawless auburn bob, streaked with bold highlights, or her knack for demanding to speak to anyone's supervisor. Mostly it was her domineering presence. Evelyn resided at the corner of Cedar Lane in a pristine two-story Georgian home, its lawn impeccable, hedges trimmed to perfection, and a bronze hawk statue glaring from her porch. Her property bristled with security cameras, no trespassing signs, and stern notices about boundary lines. She treated her self-assigned HOA duties with grave seriousness, whether the board had sanctioned them or not. Nathan Caldwell, a longtime resident, had recently confided to a few neighbors that I'd been named police chief of our small town, Fairview Hollow. Most knew I worked in law enforcement, but I kept my new title quiet, preferring to blend in as just another neighbor. Yet Evelyn's relentless meddling often forced the cop in me to surface more than I'd have liked. My first run-in with Evelyn came shortly after I settled into Willow Grove. She arrived unannounced, conducting an inspection under the pretense of HOA compliance. She criticized the shade of my window shutters slightly off from the approved palette, and vowed to raise the issue at the next meeting. I calmly pointed out that my shutters matched the official HOA color code, but she brushed me off, insisting she knew better. From then on, I was marked as one of her troublemakers. At first, I chalked her zeal up to a misguided love for order. After all, HOAs aim to keep neighborhoods tidy. But her comments soon turned sharp, her demeanor patronizing. Emails piled up, demanding I repaint my curb numbers, power wash my driveway, or trim my shrubs on a stricter schedule. Noncompliance, she warned, would bring fines or even lawsuits. Most neighbors avoided confrontation, scrambling to meet her demands to dodge public shaming. Evelyn's sense of power swelled. She bragged about her supposed ties to the town council, hinting she could make life miserable for anyone. In truth, the council found her tiresome, but we all tried to keep the peace. That was before her actions spiraled into something far uglier, before we uncovered the depths of her arrogance, and long before she dared to forge a document that would unravel her reign. It was a mild June morning when trouble brewed openly. I was savoring coffee on my porch, off duty, my golden retriever, Daisy, lounging at my feet, sniffing the breeze. Across the street, a MOVing truck parked at the Thompsons' new home caught my eye. Evelyn was already there, arms crossed, watching like a hawk. When a neighbor's car parked too close to her curb, she bellowed, "This isn't a free-for-all. Move that car." The driver, visibly annoyed, shifted the vehicle a few feet forward, navigating the neighborhood like a minefield. I leashed Daisy for a walk, but before I could cross the street, Evelyn strode over, foot tapping. "Nathan, we need to talk," she declared. "Good morning, Evelyn," I replied, keeping my tone even. "That shed behind your house," she said, pointing to a small storage unit I kept near my garage for yard tools. Violates HOA rules. "I've let it slide, but it's an eyesore." I stayed calm. Per the bylaws, it's allowed if it's on my property and not visible from the street. "It's tucked behind my fence." She bristled. "That's debatable. I've had complaints. I'd hate to fine you, but as a board member I enforce the rules." "Evelyn," I said, patience thinning, "the HOA board has 5 members, right? Did they all vote to warn me, or is this just you?" She hesitated, then scoffed. "We've discussed it. Expect a formal notice soon." I nodded, doubting any such vote existed, and she stormed back to her fortress-like home. I patted Daisy and muttered, "Here we go." The next few days brought more grievances. Evelyn issued arbitrary noise restrictions and fined residents for minor infractions, one for planting lavender that clashed with the street's aesthetic, another for a flagpole deemed too tall. Neighbors grumbled but feared the hassle of fighting back, worried about property values. Some considered confronting her, but no one acted. At the monthly HOA meeting in the Willow Grove Community Center, tension simmered. The usual crowd gathered, but the turnout was larger than normal. Nearly 25 residents packed the stuffy room. Evelyn sat at the head table, acting as if she ran the show, while the other board members Mr. Larson, MS. Bennett, Mrs. Hawthorne, and Mr. Dempsey looked drained. I sat in the back, observing. Evelyn opened with a flourish, proposing new rules for holiday decorations and parking, targeting unsightly trailers or boats. When I raised my hand to question the existing trailer bylaw, she deflected, claiming ambiguity. Mr. Larson cut in, insisting the board review changes collectively, not bow to one member's whims. Evelyn's smile tightened, but complaints erupted. Fines for ladders left out briefly, flowers deemed too bright, flags too large. Residents revealed that notices came solely from Evelyn, often on official-looking letterhead, though no board vote backed them. I stayed quiet, sensing a breaking point. Evelyn's tactics grew bolder. She ignored some neighbors' defiance while others complied out of fear. Curiously, her own yard began to slip unkempt edges, boxes piling up by her door. I caught her pacing late at night, arguing on the phone, her gestures frantic. Rumors swirled of personal troubles, debts, perhaps, or family strife, but her HOA crusade only intensified. She flooded the email list with decrees: no barking dogs, no tall lawn ornaments. The board tried to counter her, but confusion reigned. One evening, as I grilled burgers with friends, Evelyn's voice pierced the calm. She was berating Mr. Ellis, an elderly widower, for levying his trash bin out too long. "It attracts pests," she shouted. Mr. Ellis, soft-spoken, explained the trash truck ran late, but she threatened a citation. I nearly intervened, but he rolled the bin away, defusing the scene. My friend, Officer Ryan, urged me to stay out of it. Still, Evelyn's escalating anger hinted at something deeper: desperation, perhaps teetering toward recklessness. Then came the letter. A crisp envelope with the HOA seal arrived, containing a citation demanding due law 300 for violations. My shed, not viable, late trash bin storage, false, and Daisy's excessive barking absurd. She barely yapped. It required payment in 3 days or faced a lawsuit. Signed by HOA President Evelyn Harper. I knew MS. Bennett held that title, and fines needed a board vote. This was a forgery, sloppy but bold. I kept it as EVY Denke, suspecting CIVYL or even criminal implications. Soon, Clara, a neighbor, showed me a similar notice fining her due law 250 for a tiny birdhouse in her garden. It too bore Evelyn's false signature. I called MS. Bennett, who confirmed no such fines were authorized. Evelyn had hijacked the HOA letterhead. Neighbors reported Evelyn snooping in yards, even rifling through trash. Her BHVY or suggested unraveling control, possibly tied to personal woes, mortgage issues, or a custody battle, gossip claimed. The board planned an emergency meeting to oust her, but she stalled with procedural excuses. Then Mr. Dempsey texted, requesting a discreet meeting at a diner. Nervously, he revealed Evelyn had forged HOA bank forms and meeting minutes, threatening to sue him if he exposed her. He handed me a folder of EVY unsealed records, threatening emails. This was fraud, far beyond petty bullying. I had VY set him to document everything, promising to act carefully. Days later, a chilling envelope appeared taped to my door, bearing Fair VYEW Hollow's police seal. Inside was a warrant for my arrest, alleging Daisy had bitten neighbors and roamed unleashed, demanding I surrender within 48 hours. As police chief, I knew it was Fakino case number, wrong legal jargon, and a blurry seal. Forging a police document was a felony. My security footage showed Evelyn pinning it to my door at 3 a.m., her nervous glances unmistakable. MS. Bennett called, saying Evelyn claimed I was under investigation, urging my removal from the neighborhood. Fury rose, but I stayed methodical. I met the town judge, presenting the fake warrant, footage, and HOA forgeries. He deemed it serious. Impersonating law enforcement and forgery were felonies. He issued a real warrant for Evelyn's arrest. At the station, my team was stunned by her audacity. I chose to lead the arrest, knowing the neighborhood and wanting a calm resolution. That afternoon, we pulled up to Evelyn's house in unmarked cars. Curious neighbors peeked out as I knocked. Evelyn answered, poised but wary. I presented the warrant for forging a police document and impersonation. Her face paled, then reddened. "This is absurd," she snapped, denying everything. Officer Lopez showed the footage and she faltered, slamming the door. Officer Brooks blocked it, urging compliance. Defeated, Evelyn stepped out, sobbing as Lopez cuffed her and read her rights. Neighbors watched stunned as the HOA's tyrant was led to a patrol car, ranting about her board status and vowing lawsuits. "I remain stoic. See you in court, ma'am." The fallout was swift. More VYTIMs emerged, confirming Evelyn's attempts to manipulate HOA funds. Her forged warrant and documents led to a 3-year prison sentence, restitution for illicit fines, and a CIVYL suit that cost her her home. News outlets ate up the story of an HOA bully forging a warrant against the police chief. Willow Grove exhaled. The board reformed, mandating multiple signatures for notices. Neighbors relaxed, displaying lawn decor freely. Mr. Ellis left his bin out without fear. Clara's birdhouses multiplied. I mourned Evelyn's fall. She may have meant well once, but her crimes demanded justice. As I walked Daisy, neighbors waved warmly, grateful for peace restored. Evelyn Harper learned power misused in VYT's ruin, and Willow Grove reclaimed its serenity.